This is good. I
Yeah.
like this thing. Hello everyone. Welcome back. This is day 33. And we're here for what I believe anyway to be the most exciting day of the project so far. Today we're going to fog it. We're going to get the place completely sanitized. We're going to go over all that in a little bit. First, I need to finish cleaning up a little bit. I just got some vacuuming to take care of and we're good to go. And we're preparing something a little bit special for this episode. As we're going through, obviously it's a little bit boring, just fogging each room, but we're going to try and pick out some of the best highlights of each room as we're going through, and just kind of reminisce a little bit on where we started just 33 days ago. It's really incredible. It hasn't actually been 33 straight days. We don't really count days off. I don't work Sundays. But yeah, no, it's been a bit of a journey so far. So yeah, let's get to it. So I've already done the bedrooms and the basement's already done. So we're ready to go. We just gotta mix up our magic potion, stick it in the magic machine and start spraying everything. It's gonna be awesome. All right, so I've already filled this up. I got the appropriate ratio in here. There's different ratios for different purposes. For what we're doing, it's a 1 to 9. This is the product that I'm using. It's vinyl oxide. So I trusted my father-in-law to pick that out. He's actually a chemist, so I felt like he was plenty overqualified to do that. And this is our fog sprayer. So the idea is I'm gonna turn this on. It's on a little backpack unit, and I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna be fogging everything with this. It's gonna come out as a nice little mist, and we're gonna get it done. So Zan is here. She's gonna follow me around with the camera. We're both gonna mask up, head in, and then we're gonna clear out and just let it air for a bit. According to this product, apparently you're good for re-entry within 20 minutes, but this is all I'm doing today, so it'll have longer than that anyway. Oh, there goes nothing. Oh. Okay. I don't think I need all the straps. We'll see. I feel like Ghostbusters. Oh. You can see how wet it gets everything. It's incredible how it just gets everything soft and wet.
You're not doing this first, right? Are you going down there?
Huh?
You're going to walk our way out of it, right?
Well, I'm going to do the stairway on the way down. Done.
You happy now?
I'm very happy.
Man, you could see the basement. You could see all the bugs in the basement trying to escape. Did you see all the bugs?
There's no way to escape.
Did you see all the bugs?
I did. All the moths and everything.
There were crickets and spiders and...
Yeah. Well, it's now a little less hospitable for them. This is good.
Yeah?
I like this thing.
Well, Bryce was the one that told you
I
about
know.
it, remember? Did you say that already?
No, I didn't. Yeah, our realtor is the one who recommended this. He had to do a lot of this during COVID-19. He used it to disinfect things. And yeah, I think I'm going to do it again. All right, so We'll see you back when the place is nice and clean. All right, so I'm back. The place has been fogged, sanitized. It's looking good. I'm just back here to look around and see how everything went now that it's all dried off. So, this living room here, now I can remember this fireplace was stuffed with insulation. That was one of the last things I did. Right about here, there was a table set up, something that he had made, and there were car hoods on top of it and pieces of tin and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. Yeah, it was just, there was junk all over the place. And as I recall, there was all kinds of food right around here. And then over here, there was a wire rack, and he had all kinds of stuff on there. It was just an odd assortment of things. Over here in the dining room, I mean, it's incredible the difference. It's night and day now that it's all cleaned up and demoed out. You know, the kitchen soffits are out, the tiles are off, the cabinets are out. But, you know, there were cabinets, there was a little peninsula here all the way around. And the fridge was backed up to this wall that is now gone. And it's almost hard to imagine what it looked like since it's all gone, but it was absolutely disgusting. So right along here, he had this sort of drop-down ceiling that he had made. And from the time that we had first come to look at it, between then and the time that we actually got in to start working on it, that ceiling had actually collapsed. And then right here on the cabinets, he had his computer set up, and he had his bed right about here. That's clearly where he slept every night. Then back here in the dining room area, it wasn't really a dining room. It was actually barricaded with car hoods right here adjacent to the door. And back here, this was sort of his security area. He had a monitor set up, and all the wires from the security cameras came back to this area. And from here, I mean, on the first day when we came to look at the property, I kind of braved walking through this area. But nobody could really tell there was anything back here. And we were actually doubting there was even a basement, because there didn't seem to be any sort of a way through. And I came through, and the stairs were covered with things. There were bricks all along here. And that was a lot of weight. He had some 2x4s against the walls on either side there, and they were supporting those bricks. And you could actually see through to the other side, right about here. He had an opening in the drywall. We're not entirely sure why. Let's grab a light. Head into some of these rooms. So the closet, this one, and this one, Xana went through and sorted all that out for me. I was thankful because I really didn't feel like doing the closets, and she also cleaned up this tub. This was disgusting. It was black. There was a washing machine on top, and it was he must have been using it and draining it into the tub or something, but it was really disgusting. This came out pretty clean. I'm really shocked. And cabinets over here, and there was a tall cabinet here, and it had a ton of bricks inside. Yeah, this whole room was pretty gross. The bathroom, it was, I think he had another laundry machine right about here, and it was draining into the toilet. So yeah, this room wasn't anything pretty to go through. In here, this is where he seemed to have all his electrical stuff. I think this was his workroom. He was an electrical engineer, and he was definitely working in here. It's where most of his equipment and most of his hardware was. And I mean, just suitcases and suitcases over here. It was full of all kinds of clothing and other things. Weren't too many useful items found in any of it. But I mean, this room cleaned up beautiful. The hardwood floor came out really nice. Not sure how our final layout's going to affect our plans with the hardwood floor, but I'm going to do my best to preserve it. And even if we do change our plans, I might find a way of adding to it and tying in. We'll see. We're kind of making this up as we go along. So this was actually a bedroom in here. He had the bed over here, and I don't think the bed was used at all. And in here there were more suitcases and all kinds of stuff. There was women's clothing. There must have been somebody living in here at some point before. And then up along here is a dresser that we actually saved. The dresser was quite nice. So I'm going to clean that up and we'll see how that goes. We still have to sort through it. So let's head downstairs. It's so nice when the place is so clean like this. So from here, I remember the first time I came through, it was like a maze. And it was mostly a maze because there was a tower of bricks right about here. And a closet right here. It was pretty sealed shut. You couldn't actually get in at the time. But there was on top of the bricks, there was some kind of debris off to the side. It was really hard to make it through here. And there was a doorway somewhere around here and the bathroom over here. And it was almost impenetrable. And every step I took, I could feel broken glass and those resin pellets. There were resin pellets and cases of them all over the place. So those resin pellets, I later found out, they must have had, boron in them, because if you get boron with the resin pellets, it absorbs radiation. It's very interesting that the things that he hoarded actually seemed to serve a purpose in terms of his paranoia. He was actually a very intelligent man. I'll give him credit. So over here, this is sort of underneath his sort of sanctuary area. He had up towards the ceiling and below and all the way around just bricks stacked up. And they seemed to be sort of strategic and, I guess as far as strategic goes. And you couldn't really get back here. I remember it was a lot of difficulty getting into the cold storage area. But I did eventually get in and we got the water pump running. And that was great. And then back here, this was probably the worst room, and unfortunately I don't think I have any real footage of what it used to look like, but we can call this the mold room. This is the last remnant of the mold, and this is just a stain now. It's completely dead. But it was so gross. There was shag carpet all throughout. And I was so happy to have that done. We had this window opened up. We shoved everything out that window, and we used that very well before I wound up cleaning it up and getting it good to go. And then over here, this was another room. Wasn't nearly as bad, but it was carpeted as well, and it was pretty gross. I just remember plastic pellets, mirrors, bricks, foil, all this stuff just all over the place. And this area here, I couldn't even get through. I couldn't get through because the entire doorway was blocked off. He had a rack, and on the rack he had bricks and car hoods and foil and all kinds of stuff. And I had to fish everything out through this entrance here. And this was a strange way to do it. I had kind of a narrow corridor up along here. And I could tell you one of the biggest difficulties when I was working on this room was, where on earth do I set up a camera? There was nowhere to do it. And that was a pretty common issue, because I think I had it. I'm right in the corner right now. This is about where I had it. And his rack was about from here and right about here. And this was just solid packed. And then stacks of bricks. And then I remember, I think it was right about here and here. But I think this one in particular, I picked up a piece of foil and found more bricks. It was just bricks constantly. But my goodness, how open it looks. And yeah, I'm really loving this. I mean, you can imagine we got a nice egress window here. You know, we sectioned it off about halfway, come out. We could have a really nice and large bedroom in here. We could have who knows what, you know, we could make the entire basement, you know, a nice play area for the kids. We could have a little room here for who knows what. And yeah, you know, it's so nice. It's so nice when everything's opened up like this, you know. It's like we don't really have a plan. We can do whatever we want, and, you know, it's a blank slate. So we're really looking forward to where this is going. So I'm very pleased with where we've gone, and that's what the next episodes will be all about. So I hope you stick around for it. Till then.